Hello everybody, it is a chill spring day here in Lynchburg, but lucky for you, it's also Sunday, the day when I do the bulk of my planning. So I figured this video would kind of be like a plan with me, where we take like this blank sheet of paper here and transform it into my schedule for the week. So I'll show you guys how I like niche down into specific goals, how I like separate everything to make sure that everything gets done, how I like optimize it so it's like kind of efficient, and it deals with like mood fluctuations, all of that good stuff. The first thing I tend to do is pull up the canvases of all of my classes, so I can immediately see like everything that has to get done this week. These are the have-tos, not the want-tos. Those will come later, trust me. But for right now, we just go ahead, we open all the tabs of everything I am in right now. Then once we've done that, I take it, I save right this week at the top, right there. Then I'm going to make some check boxes and I'm going to fill in everything that has to get done this week. For example, I know that I DJ on Monday. I also take last week's schedule where I write down things that I scheduled for this next week, because otherwise I will absolutely forget. So it looks like I have tutoring on the 12th. Tutoring on 12th, 3 p.m. As well as, let me see if I can find it here. Well as a meeting with my professor on the 3rd, which is tomorrow. So it's a good thing I looked at that. Excellent. Okay, so now that I have those 3 things that I absolutely know are going to occur this week, I can take a look at all this fun stuff that we have to do. So here is accounting, and if we go to assignments, we will see that I have an exam coming up that's important. So if I look at accounting, all I really have that's like due this week is the exam that I have to study for. That's next week. I have to study for the exam this week so I can be prepared for next week. But there's also just one more chapter and one more homework left in the project. And I know that we have this big individual learning project at the end of the month. So if I always say, like, if you're not ahead, you're behind, you always want to be at least 2 weeks ahead, at least. If not, well, at least 1, mostly 2 weeks should be your average. You always want to be at least 1 week ahead, if not 2 weeks. That way you build like this buffer zone for yourself. So you never ever turn in anything late, ever. Because if you always keep that buffer, you will always be prepared to turn things in on time. And like, if you like, oh no, like my cat died or like something, then you have that buffer zone to be able to be like, okay, but I don't necessarily have to do this. I can like kind of skimp on this week. I can just do it later. Or you can like put more time into it. It's just like, I don't know. It gives you like a little buffer and it helps you get better grades and turn things in on time. So always keep at least a 1 week buffer. Unless the professor teaches it and you don't have a textbook. That's a different case, but most of the time, keep a 1 week buffer. Okay, and then we have this week with some have-tos and with my accounting homework. So now we go to Bible. And then I don't think we have a quiz. I'm just gonna double check that. Always double check if you're not sure. That's important. That's something I have learned over a lot of trial and error. But if you double check stuff, you won't miss things and you'll be safer. Like you won't be worrying about it in the back of your brain like, oh no, did I forget to do something? No, you'll remember and that'll be good. So then we have stats, and stats is a hard class. Stats is one where I cannot work ahead. You know how I mentioned the exception, like if they teach it to you and you don't have a textbook, that's stats. Because no one knows how to get into our textbook. And so literally we just rely on the professor to teach it to us. It's a very difficult class. Last semester he said he had a 40% pass rate. So it's been a little bit of a trial. We started out with like a huge class. And like, I think we're down to like, it's not a lot of people. There are only like a couple people left in the class, like a handful. And like the room, like it seems so big now because there are all these empty chairs and people who used to sit there. I had a friend in the class. She dropped out. She was like, I'm sorry, Patience. I can't do this anymore. She's gonna take it with an easier teacher. So I don't know. If I had time, I would have dropped out and taken it with an easier teacher. But you know what? I did not have time. So we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, and here we go. Here is our things that like we scheduled to meet with people, and then we have all of the stuff that we have to do. So that takes us to the fun stage, and that's the want-to things. So my campus has this thing called MyLU, where you can go and it'll show you like the scheduled activities that Student Activities is doing this week. And I always check this at the beginning of the week so I know like what I'm doing. So we go to campus calendar over here. Oh, that's right, the Easter egg hunt at Hideaway. They have an Easter egg hunt, isn't that cute? And then that's what's officially on the line for this week. As the week goes on, I'll probably see stuff as I like walk around campus, just like things people have like pasted up, or like things that are on like the slidey screens that are everywhere around campus. And as time goes on, I'll just add that on here. But for now, this is what we're dealing with. Right, and now that we have the activities planned out, we are going to move on to stage 3, which are the things that I should probably do, but aren't exactly like time limited or have tos. So I call these the want tos. And the want tos include things like, here, I always copy it from my last thing so I don't miss anything. The want tos include stuff like Mandarin time, and French time, and piano, voice, editing and prepping videos, writing a chapter for the little web book I update every week, editing a bit of the big book that I'm hoping to publish soon, doing a little bit of acting just on my own so I can polish my skills, keep them sharp, and a little bit of dance if time. Yes, and that's it. So, want to recap, that was stage 3, those are the want to, so these are stuff like that. Now, we move on to stage 4, which is the fun part. Stage 4 is the fun part. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your sheet of paper, and you're going to write each heading as a day. So as you see here, I'm writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're gonna continue go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or however much you like to work. I try not to work on Saturdays. It doesn't always happen. Most of the time I do end up working on Saturdays, but I try to like smush it in as much as possible so I have Saturdays like a buffer day. Yeah. So now, this is called time blocking. And I think time blocking has actually been found to be like one of the most efficient ways to like block your time. And I really like that because that's what I've been doing for these past couple years. So literally what I do is on Monday I have a pretty packed schedule. So I go from organizational behavior, then I go to breakfast, then I go to DJing, then I go to the gym with a friend, then I go to lunch with the same friend, and then I go to accounting class. So instead of writing all that out, I just write organizational behavior to accounting class. So that takes me from 9:20 to 3. Now I have a meeting with the accounting professor at 3:45, I see on my thing here, so I can't do anything that's going to take me more than 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Bible quiz. I'll take that 3 to 3:30. Meet with professor. I'm going to take that 3:30 just so we have time to walk over there to 3:45. No, to 4. And then here's the important part. What I'm going to do is I just scheduled the meeting with the professor here, so I'm going to take it, gonna put some parentheses, and I'm going to write M right at the end of it. Let me see. See that here? You write M. So it shows that it's been scheduled onto a day. And that way you make sure that everything from your big weekly checklist gets transferred and shuffled into a day where it can get done. I get dinner. 5:30 to 6:30. I always give myself an hour for dinner because you never know what will happen. Usually if I go with friends, which I like to go with friends, I hate eating alone. And it's like a weird quirk of mine, but if I go with friends, it usually takes about an hour. So I put about an hour, give or take, for dinner. I always schedule the 1-2s last. Everything I do, I schedule the half-2s first. And then every other time. So like usually I end up having like a Friday full of 1-2s, which is kind of fun because it's a Friday full of like learning like what I actually care about learning, and then like a Saturday I can kind of take to like buffer out anything that didn't get done, finish any 1-2s that I have to, do stuff with friends. A lot of things on campus happen on Saturday, which is nice because that's the day when I can like schedule them in. And then Sunday I just take it to rest and plan for the rest of the day. So I clean my room, I schedule stuff out. I don't know, Sundays are good days. Okay, and then just like that, I have my week mapped out. I have it all time blocked, so I know what I'm doing when. When the day comes, like for example tomorrow will be Monday, what I'll do is I will wake up, I will pull out this week, this lovely planner here on this sheet of paper, and I will take everything from the Monday section, every class, every lunch, everything, and I will plug it into a little check-off list that I keep on my phone. This list stops me from forgetting things. If there's something that I realize like, oh shoot, I have to do this thing, I can just put it on the list and then it'll just transfer. So then I do as much as I possibly can from that list. And then if there's anything I don't finish, then it gets bumped to Tuesday's list. So it's at the top of the list next time. And then I fill in, when I wake up Tuesday, I fill in everything that I have to do for Tuesday on the list. And when it happens, I check it off, or if like I finish it, I check it off. But like if I don't finish it, then everything that I didn't finish from Monday and Tuesday transfers to Wednesday. So I want to get everything finished, but this way everything does eventually get finished. And I'm very familiar with like what didn't happen, what didn't. If something's due tonight in the checklist, I'll put like due tonight in all caps. So like I know for a fact that this is like not a soft deadline. Like I didn't just put it here arbitrarily, like it's due that day. So that keeps me on schedule and makes sure that I have everything done. Right now the weekends are free, but like usually that's not how it happens to me. Usually it's everything shuffles on. Like how I say like everything shuffles to the next day. Some stuff is usually shuffled on to Saturday. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. It's this week. So now is the final stage of my planning, which is probably the most fun one. What I do socially is I schedule like weekly things. This is the big thing that I started at the start of the semester, and I'm so glad I have, is like every Monday I go to the gym and I eat lunch with the same person. I do that on Wednesday too with the same person. Every So every Thursday I eat dinner with the same two people. Every Friday I eat dinner and watch a movie with the same person. Every Saturday I watch a movie with two girls on my hall. Every Sunday I play games. I have a board game night with the same three people. It's really nice because it helps you like get to know the people, and like it's not something that you have to plan. But for my friends that I don't have something like that planned with, this is the time of day where I would call them up and be like, hey, like what time works for you? Do you want to like get a meal together? Do you want to study together? Do you want to do something? Yeah, so once they do that, I will literally take my pencil and I will draw like a curved line. So if it says like dinner here, I'll draw a curved line and be like with Rebecca or like with Mary or something. And then that way I know that like, oh, this dinner is with someone, and I'll put that in my checklist too, like dinner with Anna Marie. So that way I see everyone gets to be seen. I have fun with people. I don't know, I see all my friends every week, which is a big thing for me, and everything gets done. Everything in its time, everything in its place. I don't need to stress because I know that everything is due. Everything that's due has already been like dumped on this page, you know, like there's nothing that I'm gonna miss here. I'm not missing anything. As long as I do what I need to do for the day, then I'll be done. I'll have a nice weekend and it'll be a good time. Yeah, so that's my method, and now I have this full calendar. So if any of you guys want to try this method, let me know. Let me know if you do it and it works for you, because that's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe it will work for you, maybe it won't. I know it's a little harder. That's one thing I'm not looking forward to. When you have a job and there's like all this unpredictable stuff that you can't just necessarily be like, bloop, here's what I'm doing this week. That'll be a little scary for me. But anyway, if you try this and it works, great. This is how I got all A's in high school and mostly A's in college. So yeah, that's my secret. Bye guys, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.